Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kortiwada. In this video, we will learn about actions in data APIs of React routers. So let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code and I'll explain you how these actions work and what is the purpose of these actions. So let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. So whenever you want to use a specific actions and you want to submit some set of forms in your component and that form should be invoked externally, then you can use actions. So it is nothing but when there is a form submission, you can specifically mention what action should be triggered. So in this case, first what I'll do is I'll go into products and let me create some set of form. So here we have a form tag and the form tag is coming from React router DOM. What this will do is this will have some set of fields. Let me create some set of fields like input field and the input field with the type as text, and then let me create a placeholder and the placeholder is something like enter email. This is my placeholder and let me copy this input field and hold div itself and let me paste here. Let me use a name, enter name, and this is an email, type of email, and then let me add a name property called as email and then let me add a name property as name and save this. Now let me create a submit button. So whenever I want to create a submit button, I'll be creating a button with type as submit and I'm writing like submit. Now what happens in general, we have to maintain a complete state for this specific product form and we have to manage all the state values. But instead of doing that, we can do one other thing is we can use this submit to handle the actions. So I don't want to do any of the state operations. Instead, once the user submits this, I want to go to the another page and do some set of logic over there. So that can be done by using this forms and coming from React router DOM. So let me use a method called as post. I want to post all the form information directly onto this particular action. So now whenever user submits this specific form will be submitted, but where it has to invoke. So that invoking mechanism I can present in my create browser router data API. So inside this data API, we have another property called as an action, which will have a form action. So this form action will help us to perform some set of actions. So let me create const form action and this is an arrow function. Inside this function, I would like to receive the request and inside this request, we can get the form data. Form data is equal to request dot form data. This is what we'll get and this is an asynchronous API. So let me use await and let me use async for this. So now you will be awaiting for the form data and by using this form data, we can get individual data whatever is passed from our form. So let's try that. Now I gave the form action. It has to come here once after submitting this specific form. Let me go into the browser. Here, let me go into the products. You are seeing email. So let me enter some email and name. Let me click on submit. Now you can see the form data, but it is throwing an error because every action should return some set of data back to UI. So here we are getting a form data. That is clear. Now what I'll do is I'll return something like a success message as true. So I'm mentioning that it is a success object. So let me go here and what I'll do is instead of printing only the form data, I will print individual name as well as email. So let me create const name is equal to form data. We have something like a form data dot get and the name, whatever we are using over here. The name property is name. So I'm getting the name value. And in the same way, I can get email, which is again a form data dot get of email. So I'm getting this value as well. Let me go here and submit this one. You can see there is a form data, but I'm not printing any other values. Let's print email and name as well. Let me console the name and email. So I'll use name comma email and save this. Now let me go here, refresh. Let me select some Gmail and a name. Click on this. You can see Sai Kumar is the name given in the form. SV sudo window is the email which I gave in the form. So these two values are coming from your products and it is retrieved by our form action. And in this case, I don't want to stay on the same page. For example, I want to move to another page. In that case, what you can do is, instead of returning a object, you can return new response, and the response will have a body. I don't want to send any body over here, and inside this we'll have headers, and inside this we will have location. That location can be any other URL, whatever you want to, wherever you want to navigate. So now what I'll do is, I'll create some set of path, and the path is confirmation. So now I want to move to this particular confirmation page. So what I'll do is, I'll go inside the products, I'll create a new file called as confirmation.jsx, and let me write RFCE. Now you are getting a confirmation component. Let me copy this confirmation component, and let me use an element where I can pass this confirmation component as an element. Now I can navigate to this confirmation by using this location. So inside the location I can use a confirmation, and if I want to pass this whole form data, I can just write something like this, dollar and the name, and I can pass email. Again, this email is also a form of query param. Save this. Now go here, submit this. So we are using a location and 302. Now I passed this status. So let me go here and click this. Now you are able to see that navigation happened to confirmation. Inside this confirmation, you can use some search parameters hooks and you can get the data. Let's do that. So let me go into the confirmation. Inside this confirmation, I can use something like search params, and that params I can receive from use search params. This is my hook, and inside this hook I can, by using that hook, I can display the search params dot get of, I want to get the name value, followed by search params again dot get of, I can get email. These are my search parameter values. Let me go here and you can see Sai Kumar and the email whatever I gave. Let me go into the products. Let me select one more email and let me click on this. Now you can see again the name and the email which is showing the confirmation. So that's how you can pass your data from your form component into another URL, and we can directly navigate by using the response logic whatever we have inside the actions. So this can be done only whenever you are using data APIs. Actions will not be applicable for our traditional routing approach, but this applies only for React Router data APIs. Hope this gave you a glance and clear understanding about actions in our data APIs. Further, we will enhance these actions by using different approaches. You can handle errors as well, and how to capture that error values inside your data, that can also be done by using the special actions functions. Hope this gave you a clear understanding. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.